morning and welcome to the Kingdra Solo Run on the RetroBrown channel. This is an interesting one because I am not a fan of the Horsey line, as you might have seen from my Gen 1 runs for Horsey and Seedra. Really not some of my favoured ones, but this is different kettle of fish really. Kingdra is a water dragon type, it gets that with the evolution, bringing it into being the first water dragon type in the series. And with a new evolution comes, well, hopefully a better performance. We've got a base stat total of 540, majority of that is quite even. This is a very well evenly spread base stat total. 95 in attack, defense, special attack and special defense, and then 85 in speed and 75 in HP. Overall, this looks like a great Pokemon, and with the water dragon typing as well, it means electric has been neutralized, and our only weakness is now dragon type. We don't even have a weakness to ice type because of the water type neutralizing that. So honestly, this Pokemon should be cracked, but we'll soon find out whether that's going to be the case. Our starting moveset, we only have water type moves to actually deal damage with, which, considering I'm going to put the rival with a Chikorita, is not a good scenario for us really. We need to... yeah, it's really not going to help us out, but what we do get in return of that though, we do get the move Smokescreen. Now I have talked in other videos that I don't like accuracy lowering moves. Mostly the only reason why I don't like these moves is in Gen 1 where the badge boost glitch is very broken. Gen 2 that's not the case, so we don't have to worry about that here and actually getting rid of the move. It's a legal move in this generation for my runs. So against the very first rival fights, we're going to just set up our smoke screens, and when he's at a point where he can't hit us anymore from there, we'll just use Water Gun and chip away at him, because it's going to take quite a lot of hits. Grass type does resist Water type, so yeah, we'll take a lot of hits, and it just takes a little bit of a while, but we honestly don't even lose half our HP there. Our rival for today is going to be Logan Fleming. Thank you for subscribing and welcome to the channel, and I hope you enjoy this video. So what other things can we work with really as a Kingdra? Well, looking at our level up moveset, not too much, but I think we can do Falconer at the level cap, so let's go into this at level 8. Level 9 is the level cap here, but 2 water guns will take down the Pidgey pretty comfortably. After that, all we need to really worry about is the Pidgeotto, and considering I didn't lose my berry earlier, I completely forgot that it was still equipped, and I don't know whether that might have been the difference. We would have probably had 2 HP to work with, so I'm going to say it didn't make a difference, but yeah, we still beat Falconer either way. That's the first badge down before the level cap, and I was kind of expecting that with this being a final stage evolution. That means we can progress on to Azalea Town, and probably the harder points of the entire Gen 2 with Azalea Town rival. Let's see how we do when we get through to Bugsy, but before we go to Bugsy, of course we need to deal with the Rocket side quest there. But it's not really too much of an issue. The final guy's only got a coffin, and even though we are poisoned, 2 water guns will take this down. We're only around about level 15 here, because we're trying to do this as minimum battles as far as we can get into this. But now we've beaten him, we can progress on to Bugsy's gym. Let's see how we do here. Now Bugsy's only really got one threat on his team, and that is the Cypher. The Kakuna is a lot more threatening than the Metapod because it does have Poison Sting. And worst thing, you don't want to be poisoned in this fight because that means you're going to have less and less HP to work with when trying to get around the Cypher using Fury Core. Now, having Smokescreen on our moveset is fantastic here because if he misses a Fury Core, that accumulation damage has to reset. So once we've set up all the Smokescreens we can, this will be a very easy fight just using Water Gun to get the win. Now, there is another move that I could have gotten picked up before this fight, and that's in the previous cave just to Azalea Town. And that's the TM for Swift. I might have to go and get this for the next fight because we've only having water type moves to use against a Bayleaf of all things. We're going to need that normal type move just to make the fight work. As you can see here, we're not using it in this attempt, and as soon as that Bayleaf comes out, he sets up Reflect, we set up our smoke screens, but it's just going to be a matter of time till we get poisoned, and that poison damage is going to be the difference here. If we hadn't been poisoned, we could have tanked more hits, we could have actually managed to stall it out, but the poison damage takes us out here, so we are going to go back and get Swift, and we are going to go back up to level 18 here. So, The Ghastly goes down pretty comfortably. Zubat the same. Water Gun will take it down in 2 hits. We do take a bit of chip damage from Bite, and we go up to level 19 going into the Bayleaf. Same again, we set up Smoke Screen because this is just going to give us the most amount of chances to be able to hit them. But we do take a few Razor Leafs every now and then. Thankfully they're not criticals because it's not as cracked in this generation where the critical hit chance on Razor Leaf is just pretty much every time. And a few Swifts will comfortably take Logan down. So far we're not really having too much of a problem, but Goldenrod is next, and that brings the next challenge in Whitney and a Miltank. Clefairy is not going to be too much of an issue as long as it doesn't manage to get Metronome out and get some ridiculous move like rolled on it. But the Miltank comes out at level 20. This is a bit of a problem. Now we could go in and get our friendship up and go get Return, or we could go and get Blizzard from the game corner, but I didn't want to go and spend a lot of time getting the coins. So this time round we go for Headbutt at level 23 after leveling up a little bit more, and we get the win. It's still pretty difficult to do at that level, but yeah, we got the thing. We got the badge. That brings us to Ecruteak, where we go against all the sages in Morty's gym because they are all mandatory. I've not found a way to get around them, and if you have, please send me a link because that will save me so much time in future runs. And at this range, we're not even going to need to go and get Surf from the Kimono Girls. Water Gun is one-shotting these Ghastlies, which gives us a good indicator that we'll do alright against Morty. Whether we'll take out his Ghastly or his Hornets in one shot though, we'll soon find out. Fog Badge is on the card, and we need to get through this as quick as possible without getting put to sleep. We don't want to be paralysed either, and we don't want to be cursed. This fight is just an absolute fruit salad of all of the status effects that could get thrown at you. And as soon as you get put to sleep, that's when Dream Eater comes out to recover all the HP and the damage that you have spent your hard-earned time trying to deal on them. So yeah, let's try this again. We're going up to level 27 this time, and the first Ghastly goes down pretty comfortably. Second Haunter this time goes for Nightshade. Don't know why they wouldn't go for Hypnosis in this scenario. And this time we actually outspeed, and the Gengar goes for Mean Look. Well, we're not going to try and switch out because it's a solo run. So in a sense, that's a wasted turn for Morty there. He doesn't even hit any Hypnosises, and we get through to the final Haunter, who again goes for Mean Look. Yeah, really weird. And we learn our first Dragon-type move of the run, which is Twister. 40 base power Dragon-type move, and probably not one that we're going to really use, if I'm being honest. Out of all the Dragon-type moves that are available in this generation, we don't even get the best one, which is Outrage. The best Dragon-type move we get is Dragon Breath, which only has 60 base power, and it also has a chance to paralyze, which would be pretty good, but I don't know, that's 60 base power. There's more powerful moves that we can use in like a Surf, Hyper Beam, Blizzard, even Return. Like, yeah, there's better moves that we can use. We even take a little trip to the Burnt Tower to beat Logan Fleming again, and we beat him pretty comfortably this time. This mid-game for Kingdra is honestly really, really good. Like, we're heading over to Cianwood City now. We are going to pick up Shuckle because I didn't pick up a Krabby to learn Strength, so we are going to pick up Shucky here, who, honestly, if you've never done a solo run with Shuckle before, go watch my video or go do one yourself because it is fun. Like, it doesn't sound like it would be fun, but it's actually a very fun solo run Pokemon to do. And that's what I'd rather you guys go and try the fun ones, and my channel is pretty much just showing you all the fun runs and which ones are and are not fun, which ones are quick, which ones are not. And there for yourself, you've got the chance to see what you could do, what strategies to employ, and go ahead and actually do your own solo runs, because I would love to see them as well. I love solo running channels, not the ones that go really overboard, like I kind of lose interest in them ones after a while. Anyway, let's see how we do against Chuck, and this is probably the easiest gym fight in the entire run for us. We start hitting with Headbutt on the Poliwrath, and he doesn't even get a chance to attack. But that flinch chance on Headbutt, sometimes much more valuable than having Return. But Return does deal out more damage in the long run. Either way, let's head back to Olivine. We'll give the potion to Amphi. And then we're actually going to go straight against Jasmine, because we're going to have another extremely easy gym fight for ourselves here. Let's see how we do. Now, you might be wondering, how is this going to be easy when Magnemite is steel and electric? Well, it doesn't actually resist water. So one Surf will just completely wipe out both Magnemites. Bringing us into the Steelix, where yet another Surf is... yeah, it's a one-shot. I thought it wasn't going to be a one-shot there. But we beat Jasmine, probably the easiest Jasmine fight that we've had since Typhlosion. So yeah. This is, in the mid-game, a very good Pokemon. And as I said right at the start, I do not enjoy the Horsey line. I did not enjoy my solo runs with them in Gen 1. Kingdra is a lot more fun. There's more to work with. You've got that extra dragon type input on top. There's just more to work with, and yeah, it makes sense why they decide to put this in this generation. It's a good Pokemon. I would have kind of preferred to put this in Gen 1, but what can you do now? It's like 20 odd years since this game came out. Anyway, we watch Lance Hyper Beam and we aspire to be that ruthless, so we may go and get Hyper Beam very, very soon. That brings us to the Rocket Executives in the underground of Hogany Town, and from here we're at level 38 because of all the mandatory fights we've had to go against. There is a lot of experience to have gone around here, and this is just such a whitewash. Like these, if I was ever to learn coding and to like remake this game, which I think another channel has done, like Smith Plays Pokemon, I would increase the levels and sort out that level cap, because it's just weird, that level curve that there is. This brings us to price, which is not going to be an issue for us because we have that water typing. We are not going to worry whatsoever about any ice attacks coming our way. It's weird to have got to this point in the run and not faced at least one super effective attack. We've not faced one super effective attack, so yeah, it's actually kind of a breath of fresh air to have a typing that's just this good. But the Pokemon itself, I just wish we got better moves. Surf, Blizzard, Hyper Beam, they're all great moves, but a lot of the time lost in this run was in that early game where we only had Bubble and Water Gun to work with. Anyway, let's see how we do against the next fight with Logan Fleming in the Underground. And a level 43 at this point, which is around about the average that I seem to be at this point in the game, just from mandatory fights. We'll see how we do. And we're sweeping through all of his teams so far with just Surf. Not even 1 point damage has come our way. And last up is the Meganium. We're going to go for a return now. We have taught it and we still don't take any damage. We just decimated his an entire team. Are we going to do the same to the Rocket Executive at the top? You bet your ass we're going to do that, because he has got 2 Fire-type Pokemon and a Coffin. We've got the complete advantage here, and Surf is just whitewashing the entire battlefield away from them. We're getting to the point though now where we might face a super effective move. Now we've got 7 badges, we completed the Rocket side quest. That brings us on to Claire, and Claire's gym is a Dragon type gym. She has a Kingdra herself. If you've not seen in the 60 other videos I've done for this Solo Run challenge on this channel. But we've got Icy Wind now thanks to Price. This should be an easy fight for us. So the main thing that we want to do here, we want to outspeed, which we will do considering we're about 12-13 levels above most of the Pokemon. 12-13 I can't count, it's 11 levels. Either way, it's 12 now. We go against the Kingdra. It's Kingdra v Kingdra. We've got return. This fight is going our way, and we finally see our first super effective attack of the video. Dragon Breath hits us and takes off about a third of our damage. It's not enough though, and our Kingdra proves it's a better one. That now brings us to thinking about the league. And before the league, we have our final fight with Logan. And this one, I never find as much of an issue. Is the level curve again doesn't really play into them. They've not really leveled up much since the previous fight, and we're already at level 52. Surf just one-shots Magneton, and Haunter can't even outspeed us here. Our balanced stats are really, really good, and I wish I saw more Pokemon like this in this generation. I misclicked here on Surf. I was going to go for Icy Wind, because that will one-shot this Meganium at that range. We'll never see Logan from here again, and we can progress onto the league. First off, in the league, we don't really have an issue. It's Will, the Elite Four Psychic type trainer. He's got a lot of Pokemon that are weak to Ice. He's got 3 Pokemon that are weak to Ice. Jinx has got bad defenses. And the only real threat is going to be Slowbro. Just because we've got no super effective moves, and it's bulky, so Return won't do all too much damage. As you can see here, Return is going to be about a 5-shot on it. And when it starts setting up Curse as well, it's probably going to be a 6-shot from there. The Return fades, and so the Reflect faded, so it actually did more damage. I didn't even see when the Reflect came up there. And then Surf just one-shots the Xatu. That's an easy first win, and we can progress on to Koga. Again, we've got no super effective moves here, apart from Icy Wind on maybe 1 or 2 of his Pokemon. Other than that, though, this is a Return sweep, or Surf sweep. Either way, this is not a hard fight for us. The worst thing that can happen, though, is that they can start setting up a double team, which is problematic because we want to be able to hit them and not let that poison damage that take hold of us, because we have been toxicked. But there's not really too much that they can do against us. He does start off with Minimize against the Muck, but 2 Surfs take him down. Going into this level 54, this is not a high level really for the league. We use Return on Crobat and it does just over half damage. I really want to do a Crobat run sometime. It's not come up on the wheel yet, or at least for a while, and when it did there was other better choices. We take the win and we progress on to Bruno. Bruno is not going to be a problem whatsoever. Surf is just going to either 1-shot or 2-shot most of his Pokemon, and even when the Hitmontop decides to dig, we just start setting up agility to make sure we're always going to attack first. If we can attack first, we can hopefully get 1-shots against some of his team. Surf is just such a good move though, it's a stab move for us with us being a water type. But the big problem about Surf is the fact that, well, it's a HM move, so I have locked out one of my move slots. It may not be good in hindsight for the likes of Red coming up at the end, but yeah, it's still a good move. It's in essence, it's still the best HM move to be using, in my opinion. Especially when you are a strong physical attacker and it just does amazing stab damage. Bruno goes down incredibly easily, but we did take quite a lot of damage to Cross Chop. That's something I could probably keep in mind. Karen's out now, and we've only got... Wow, I forgot to use my elixirs going into this fight. We've used up all of our Surf PP, and we haven't got much to use on Return either. We are missing our returns thanks to the sand attacks, and then we got paralyzed. We might have our first loss of the Elite Four here. First loss for quite a while, probably since... When was the last loss that I had? Was it maybe Morty? We've gone through quite a lot of this run without losing any fights. And yeah, of course, it's Gengar with its Curse, and we can't switch out. Feint Attack does chip damage, and then we miss an Icy Wind, so we need to try this again. If we can get through without getting sand attacked, without getting cursed, this should be, in hindsight, an easy fight. We do get sand attacked once this time round against the Umbreon, and this time round, Icy Wind manages to reduce the speed and we do not get paralysed. Probably should have gone for Return though, it would have probably done more damage. Surf doesn't even take out the Gengar in one, and we get cursed again. We use Return on the Murkrow because it's got bad defenses, and last up is the Houndoom, where Surf will one-shot it, so we don't even see curse damage because we started one-shotting everything. And that brings us to the champion. It's Dragon v Dragon for the first time in Gen 2. Let's see how we do. He's going to start off with his Gyarados, and this is not a problem for us. I know for a fact he's going to go for Hyper Beam here because all of his other moves will probably do barely anything to us. We go for an Agility to make sure we can outspeed everything on his team now, and then he brings out his Dragonites. From here, Icy Wind is a one-shot on all the Dragonites. It's quite effective against them. They are Dragon Flying, and Ice is super effective against both. And then we get a problem. We miss an Icy Wind, and it doesn't one-shot the level 50 Dragonite. His super effective Outrage, the one move that we cannot learn, deals massive damage, and we have to try again. I still think this is the right strategy though. Start off with Agility, hit with Return, and then Icy Wind the Dragonites down. We know the level 47s will go down to an Icy Wind, and that's not a problem whatsoever. Same, pretty much the same for both of them, but that one at level 50 is just out of our range to one-shot. And either way, he went for Safeguard. Why didn't he go for Outrage? Outrage is super effective. That makes no sense. The AI should be telling him to go for Outrage because that is super effective, but will he not be going for it because he couldn't one-shot us. That's a confusing win. Why did he go for Safeguard? You guys can talk about that in the comments. I'm going to see what time we finished on. We finished at level 57, which is pretty low. That's pretty good. And we finished at 4 hours, 46 minutes. Not bad at all. Not bad at all, really. I really don't want to know how well Horsey would have, or Cedra would have done in this generation, but you know what? Not bad at all. It's kind of given me a bit more love for this line now. Anyway, let's see how we do against Blue. Form champion is out now, and he's going to start off with Pidgeot. I want to make sure I can outspeed all of his team, and then he goes for Mirror Move of all things. So the outspeeding the Pidgeot does mean nothing now. We do take some damage to Wing Attack, but that brings out the Gyarados. He's probably going to go for a Hyper Beam here. No, he goes for Twister, because it's super effective. AI's weird in Gen 1, in Gen 2. Return one-shots the Alakazam, meaning we don't take a big Psychic attack. Icy Wind will do big damage on the Exeggutor, and then he sets up Sunny Day, which is not good, considering he's going to have an Arcanine and a Rhydon in the back. Icy Wind does not one-shot Rhydon, and thankfully he didn't go for anything worse like Rock Slide. Last of his Arcanine, and the Sunlight is still up, but I'm going to go for Surf anyway. He's probably going to put him into a full restore range, which it does, and the sun goes down, meaning the next Surf is a one-shot. That's a first time win against Blue, which means there's only one challenge left for this guy. Let's head up Mount Mortar, and let's go against Red. Red's going to start off with his Pikachu, and the electricity is neutral to us. So we will take a lot of damage because his Pikachu is just cracked. Like, it's 15 levels above us. And worst thing that's happened now, though, is we have been charmed. Our attack is lower, we're paralysed. So we need to think of a different strategy. And probably my most reliable strategy for this fight, use Curse and Rest. Once you've set up a few curses, return away, you'll one-shot pretty much most things, apart from when they set up a Reflect of all things. Thank you, Espeon. But that brings us now into the Snorlax, which is where we do the bulk of our setting up. We're not really too bothered about getting paralysed here, because we do have Rest. Our defences are just skyrocketing now, and we can only tank one more Body Slam, so we are going to rest up here and try and get out of it. His Body Slam's doing barely anything, unless he decides to get a crit. That would do a hell of a lot of damage onto us, but we do not see it in this fight. We get all the way down to half HP, we rest back up again because we're going for the kill next. And we are going to take a few bits of damage from Body Slam just before we wake up. We wake up, use Return, and it's a one-shot on Snorlax. And now there's only 3 Pokemon left. They in vain set up a Sunny Day for that Charizard, which is not going to help him whatsoever, considering the Blastoise came out next and his Water type attacks were just neutralised. Flamethrower comes out, does barely anything even with Sunny Day up, but a final return gets us the win. That's a second attempt win against Red, and we did that at level 69, which is just nice. You guys know it, it's just nice. Level 69 with Surf, Rest, Curse and Return. Them stats are just brilliant. And we finished at 6 hours and 8 minutes for the entire game. That's pretty damn good. It's pretty damn good. That's a high tier in Pokemon. Let's see what we're going to do a run with next week. I'm looking for something a bit more challenging, because Kingdra is... yeah, it was actually quite fun. Suicune, sorry. I'm not looking for something that easy. I'm looking for something very, very challenging this time. And I might regret you asking for that. Swinubs just came up, and we've not done anything from that line yet. Last up is Tyranitar. Yeah, we're going with Swinub. This is probably the only channel where you'll see a Swinub getting chosen over a Legendary. Either way. If you got to this point in the video, guys, please smash that like and subscribe, you legends. I really appreciate it. And we will see you next week for the Swinub run. Take care.